You are listening to Series 2, Episode 3 of It's a Voice Note, not a podcast. Aye. They won't know. They won't know how many times it took to just do that.
You really fucked it up.
I really, multiple times. I got confused by the faders. I got confused by the colours. I got confused by everything. It's been so long.
Has it been that long?
It hasn't been that long, but I have had surgery in the middle of it.
It's like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Straight into it. Surgery talk, are you? Yeah.
Straight back into it. I know. So go on then. What's happened in your life in the last 3 weeks?
You cannot wait to start talking about your surgery. I'm going to count how many times you say redesign.
Oh no, I'm using a different term now. Designer. I have a designer throat. I have a reimagined throat.
Yeah. A redefined
throat. Anything apart from...
That's what shit fashion journalists always say. Redefining the tank top. Redefining masculinity. Redefining the flare-cut jean.
But we don't have to go through the whole meeting that you gave today at work.
What? I don't redefine shit.
How have you been, babes?
Good. I went to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Did a little walk, like little cycle.
Yeah.
I told you earlier, I put a muscle in my arm in the treadmill.
I low-key love it.
I don't know how I did that. And then that guy, there was this really fit guy who just started walking past like the treadmills, and I was like, oh, he's cute, he's got really big arms. He tried to do like a pull-up. Well, he didn't try to. He not only did a pull-up, but then turned his whole body upside down and just hold himself there. And he did like 3 or 4 of them. And I pulled my arm muscle on the treadmill.
Oh my God.
So that's me returning back to the gym after a few months of like seasonal depression.
Yeah.
And a little bit of winter weight.
Yeah. I love it. I've returned back to the gym. Second time since surgery. I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but, I have gone away and had some surgery. Tonsils removed. I think the proudest moment was when she came up to me after the operation. She went, "We removed your tonsils." Again, massive.
Yeah.
And I went, "Thank you." But actually I didn't. I probably went, Yeah. It was all I could manage.
Did you see them?
No, I didn't see him. But what was weird, because obviously it's like the Swedish healthcare system. So it was really, really good. I cannot fault it at all. It was a bit daunting walking into my own operating theatre. I don't know if that's a thing.
Is that...
Maybe that's a thing in the UK as well. You would walk in.
I don't know. When I had an operation, I was in a bed, and they moved me from the bed to another bed.
Oh, okay.
So I never walked into one.
The operating table was heated.
Oh, that's fancy.
That was something I realised.
Yeah.
I just felt a warm sensation. But there's been a huge debate amongst loads of different people that I've spoken to who've said that my voice has changed.
See, I'm listening to it through the headphones, and it seems a bit more croakier, a little bit more. But in real life, it's a bit more faggoty.
Yes. I like that. I like being more approachable.
Femme queen.
Yeah. I love being a femme queen. Got the tits to do it as well.
What did you say when you was in the group chat? We were like, when you wake up with a pair of massive tits and a brow bone reconstruction to start your new life as Samantha. So brave. So brave.
I would love that. They wouldn't need to add much.
Curves and swerves.
Maybe they could take away the fat from here, put the fat there. That would be great.
That's what a BBL is. Did you know that?
What's a BBL?
A Brazilian butt lift.
Yes, they take the fat from your
stomach and they put it in your butt.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I would
Should
love
have taken
that.
your tonsils.
Stuck it in. Where would you stick them though?
Oh.
Kind of the two little tonsils.
They
in your
did,
butt.
no, but they did look like a nutsack in the back of your throat. It really did look like a nutsack.
Could you imagine just sort of like someone just there going like, in the middle of the steak, it's like, have you got 4 bollocks? And it's just like, wow.
Mate, your tonsils were like bigger than most bollocks I've seen. They
Yeah.
were huge.
Yeah.
And you'd always bring them up, and I'm like, oh, it's just another one of like Sam things he likes to say. And then one time you like just put a flashlight down there, and I was like, whoa. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's just a gaping chasm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a lot more real estate.
The amount of straight people that have turned to me and said, imagine the duck. Let me do that again. The amount of straight people that have now said to me, imagine the dick you can suck now.
Straight people.
Surprisingly. But,
Who?
I don't know. Just like, I can't even remember. Just like, no one from work. But like, just, straight friends. And I'm just like, I feel like it's allyship.
You do not have straight friends.
They all hate me, really.
That would not be the first thing that I would come to my mind if someone's had their tonsils removed.
Right, what would come to your mind?
Good luck.
How was it?
Let me put my dick in there.
True.
I don't think we'll ever get a sponsorship.
Could you imagine? No, we will. We will get sponsorship eventually.
Yeah.
We're sponsored by, I don't know, sex clubs or something like that.
Prep.
Yeah, sponsored by Prep.
What have I been doing? What have I been doing?
New apartment.
Yeah, I've been furnishing it. Do you know what? I shared it on Facebook, not Facebook, Instagram. I just put it on my story because I put up, like, I have loads of art
Yeah,
from my friends.
I saw.
My friends are super talented. But I've been putting off just like putting them up because it's like, I don't like, you're not supposed to put holes in the walls and shit. It's a rental.
Yeah. You can put holes in the walls in a rental, though, surely.
This one you have to refill it when you move, so I've tried to be quite conservative.
Yeah, but they
with
all
it.
do. They all say that.
Yeah. But this one I've just tried to be quite conservative because I don't want to live there forever.
Yeah.
It's a first hand, so I can.
Yeah.
But so then I just shared it. Like I was just really proud. It feels really nice. I feel really safe there. It got like 50 likes
You did well.
on the story. Yeah. Like 300 people viewed it.
That's really good.
That's like the most viewed story I've ever posted. And it's just
This is
literally
fab.
my fucking tiny apartment. It did look great though.
You need to be on TikTok. You get much higher numbers on TikTok.
No, it's too much sensory stimulation.
Oh, okay.
I'll be on it for hours.
That's what I quite like. It's very over stimulating.
Nah. I have my free apps.
I get that. I totally get that.
Instagram, Twitter for porn. Nowadays, Grindr.
Yeah.
Although I've not actually met anyone on Grindr.
Okay.
Not recently.
Fair.
Not since I've downloaded it again.
I've been out, yeah. I've just been recovering. So it's been sort of like, that was the last time we saw each other, was you guys were all off to the Lady Gaga launch.
No, I went to the pub the other night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I got the vape thing.
I know, but I was using this as a catalyst to jump us into.
I was going to use, speaking of Grindr, let's talk about the death of gay clubs.
Okay, true. We should move on to the episode. So this episode is Gay Bar. And it started from a question from one of our avid fans, soon to be a guest, some point when we can pin him down. He's here, there, and everywhere. It is our wonderful friend Rico. And he said, is the gay bar dying? Or are we just as 2/3 white millennial gays, cis men, just not invited to the party?
Rico didn't say all of that.
No, he didn't. I added a little bit of flair to it and then forgot it and then couldn't read my own handwriting. It's going to be a lot of me squinting in this. Just going, what did I say?
So you fucked that one up. So it was like, are gay bars shut in, or are we just
Not invited?
Bitter old queens not invited anymore.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
When did you start going to gay bars?
So I've been going to. I grew up in Milton Keynes.
Right.
So I
say right, like I didn't know that. I know that.
So I went to the gay bar in Milton Keynes a fair few times. Pink Punters. It's pretty much the only nightclub, or back then it was like one of the only nightclubs you go to.
How old was you?
I'd already started at uni, and then I'd gone there it was when I came out, so like 23, 24, something like that.
Yeah.
So it was like after uni, after everything like that. You know, that was the first time I was in sort of like a queer space. But it's not that queer a space anymore. It's very interesting. So it's in an area of town which is just an old village part of the town. I'm guessing there was a lot of backlash when it first started.
Right.
So what's weird is there's like panic buttons everywhere, big red buttons. You hit one of those and like bouncers descend. It's very secure. And I can remember going in there and the bouncer said at one stage, like, are you part of the community? And I went, yes. And then my friend said no. And he went, okay, we're going to go over here and we're going to have the chat. And he sort of took him to the side and went, this is an LGBTQ plus space. You have to respect that. As a straight person, you have to respect what this club is. I don't want to have any trouble. I don't think you're going to be in any trouble. But I'm just saying to you now, you need to be okay with everything that happens inside these doors. Is that okay? And he was like, yeah.
You're so fucking serious right now.
I know. But, I kind of get it because it's sort of like...
Yeah, I mean, like...
And too many straight people go to that club.
I've
been told off for hitting on a guy.
There's actually a few, because Nottingham has quite a few gay bars. It used to anyway.
But you've also been out for a lot longer than I have.
Yeah, so I started going out, like raves and stuff, like before I even left high school. So like before like 15, But that's where you like jump over the back fence and like sneak in, and then it was just like this kind of like there was this one bar called Rubber Dub, like way gone, but it was like a full on rave bar. So you just jump over the back fence, and then the next day like go home, get changed into school uniform.
I love that.
Like I really pushed my mum and dad's limit. But on my 18th birthday, I went to a gay bar. And it was called Propaganda in Nottingham. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of gay bar where they have straight bouncers, and they weren't like big speeches like that. It was like, are you gay or not? Like, this is a gay bar, just so you know.
Yeah.
Some of them are like weirdly homophobic as well.
Yeah.
I think Propaganda's shut now as well. Mm. But yeah, so on my 18th birthday, I went to a gay bar.
Yeah.
And I've been going ever since.
I love that.
I think I went with my mum and my sister, actually. Or at least we went a little bit after that. There's a picture floating around around my 18th birthday in a gay bar with my mum and my sister. But in Nottingham, there's a bar called NG7. And that's postcode, NG7. That's why it's called that.
Yeah.
And that was one of the oldest gay bars in England, actually. Like gay clubs. I think it was open since like the 80s. Like continuously. But then, because it's opposite Gatecrasher... Gay bars are notoriously open really late because the gays do not go home. Mm-hmm. And then, like now it's not gay anymore because people would come out of Gatecrasher and then go into NG7 because it was still open.
Yeah.
And the last time I went, which is like many, many years ago now, I got called a faggot.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I call you that regularly.
Yeah, but
it's always with love.
We're sisters.
We're sisters. Okay, so this was the non-sister going faggot in the gay club.
Yeah. Nottingham's pretty
I wish
raw.
there was a red button I could hit so a bouncer descends.
But Nottingham had loads of little gay bars. They also had a lesbian bar.
Love that.
Called AD2. Just a lot of like acronyms.
AD2.
Is it acronym?
NG7, AD2. Acronym, yeah.
Nottingham is so ratchet. That would just be really normal. Like this 82, it was kind of a lesbian bar, but it just so happened that all the lesbians went there. They used to have like bashment nights and everything. Like, you got pretty wild.
Really?
Yeah.
Bashment nights.
Like reggae, bashment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My friend's fiance, he ran a bar for a bit, and they used to have go-go dancers and stuff. There was a burlesque cabaret bar, drag bar. That stuck around for a little bit. I haven't been back to Nottingham in years now, so I wouldn't know.
No.
But there's a pretty big drag scene over there now.
Oh, this is on the postcard. Get in touch with us.
Yeah, what's going on, Nottingham?
What's going on, Nottingham?
What gay bars you got nowadays?
Yeah. Milton Keynes, is there any other gay bar? I'd love to know. But we live in Stockholm.
No, I wanted to go through the journey. Let's go through the journey of gay bars.
Okay.
So you went to study in Coventry. Is there any there?
Oh, God. Yeah, Rainbows. I never went. I know someone who did go, and he said it was pretty shit. But that was the only one. There was one called Club Mustard.
I love gay bar names. I love gay bar names.
Rainbows and Club Mustard. But Club Mustard was near where we lived. And the building they said it was in just looked derelict as fuck. So obviously that was not an option at this point. But no, so there wasn't really, at that time, there wasn't really any gay bars. As gay as it got was going to Jumping Jacks, which is part of the Oceania Underworld. Was it Underworld? Something like that? Yeah.
Bit
like,
chavvy.
Yeah, like, you know, that sort of scene. But you used to have the student games on a Tuesday. So you used to go there, and the last game was always a naked game. So, you know, it was a free-for-all of seeing unicock.
Cock and balls.
Yeah, which was great for me.
I went uni in Birmingham, mate. And they have...
Also has a gate crasher.
Yeah. I went there once, and I was like, nah, not my vibe.
No.
So there was Digbeth, which is like a bit ravey. Mm-hmm. That was all right. But at this point in my life, I was like, gay, like gay bar down. Mm-hmm. And then it's Hurst Street. I even worked in one of the gay bars for like a few shifts, but I fucking hated it.
Yeah.
Met a few guys, got a few numbers, and I was like, I'm not doing this. It's horrible.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the big one was called, but that's where I did a few shifts in. But it's basically just an entire street. And you just hop along each one.
Wasn't there an Australian one like in Birmingham as well?
Oh, what? Sorry,
not necessarily a gay bar, but like was it an Outbackers or something like that? Like an Australian bar.
Do you know what? That was a weird time in my life. I can't remember a fucking thing. Like, never mind like name of bars. I remember like the way it looked. It's called Hurst Street, Gay Town.
Yeah.
And like for some reason in the UK, the gay towns are always next to Chinatown.
They are.
Like Nottingham doesn't really have a Chinatown, but it does have a concentrated area of like Chinese like
takeaways,
restaurants, or like because a lot of students live over there. Like a lot of like Asian grocery stores, but then that's where all the gay bars are.
Yeah.
Birmingham, it's literally gay town, Chinatown.
Nice.
Like right next to each other. London's the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, isn't it? Soho.
Yeah.
And then you've got Chinatown.
I think Manchester as well.
Yeah. Oh, God, I love Manchester. Do you know what? That was, okay, one of the first experiences of sort of like queer club, stuff like that. We did get a bit shit-faced in the straight club the night before, which was kind of, that was my cousin. So I went to meet my cousins, both of which are straight, but one of them was at university in Manchester. So we all descended on Manchester, and we went to watch the parade, and then we went to Canal Street, and we went to a few clubs. It was great.
Canal Street's fun.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah.
Love it. Actually, do you know what we're watching at the moment? Bringing it back to TV series. Like, I've just ordered Queer as Folk. That will arrive soon. Have you seen that?
That was like a big...
Yeah.
like realization for me, like growing up, especially the rimming scene. Do you remember that? Yeah. That was like, whoa.
I know. And like Dan was kind of like freaking out a little bit on, because we're currently watching Cucumber.
That was so good.
That is so good.
Yeah.
But it's the bit where he's sort of like, you know, with his 15-year-old nephew, teaching him how to do like, you know, tumblers for all the Gen X gays and stuff like that. So it's quite risky. And Dan was just like, I'm not sure about this. And then I sort of said, yeah, but if you remember Queer as Folk, that was like the first episode was like a mid-30s guy getting with a 15-year-old.
Like rimming the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then that guy is the guy in Prophecy.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
That's wild. He's aged
Yeah.
like a man.
It's Charlie Hunnam. He's Sons of Anarchy.
That's wild, man.
It is absolutely wild. But then like Dan sort of sat there and said, so he was underage. And I went, yeah, but the whole thing of that show was showing that it doesn't matter if he was 18, that would have still been underage
Yeah.
in 1999.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fucking weird. But
Yeah.
like as a young teenager watching that was wild.
Yeah. Can you believe it took that long? It was only 2000 where they aligned the, you know, age of consent to match straight people.
I can believe it.
Yeah. And then and the thing with Cucumber is, I don't want to ruin too much about it, but a beloved character dies, is murdered, and basically the person who murdered them used something called gay panic, which is basically an old UK law, which was still legal at the time in 2015, where if you feel like someone is coming on to you strongly from the same sex and you kill them, it makes it manslaughter instead of murder.
That's wild.
Yeah. And that was only repealed in 2016.
I've heard about gay panic.
Yeah.
I don't know it was 2016 though.
That late.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we've established that the gay bar is important.
Well, here's the thing, right? I don't know how important it is nowadays.
Yeah. I can see that.
And I think, because I go to a gay tattoo studio.
Yeah.
It's not gay, it's queer. And then they put on like sober events. Like they put on like, because like lesbians, they don't want to go out all the time because they've got football practice the next day. Or they've got kids, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they do like
Roller derby.
so they put on like lesbian brunch and stuff like that. They want to like, so I don't know. I think queer spaces are important. I don't know
Yes.
if it's all about the queer, like a gay bar.
No. I suppose I use the term gay bar, meaning, you know, maybe that comes to like, you know, our final piece of the episode, which is us building our perfect gay bar. Because I kind of feel like that should be included as well. That sort of, you know, like it shouldn't just be a gay bar. It should be a safe space for everyone without the focus being on gay men. Because, you know.
I used to, when I went to uni, I joined the LGBTQ society. Because I was second year entry. I didn't want to do halls. So I ended up like getting a room with this like older gay guy and his mom, Pat. Love Pat. Shout out Pat.
Shout out, Pat.
Just like this 80-year-old like retired primary school teacher. 10 cats.
Yes.
Not lying. 10
Love it.
cats. I went to go view the room and they forgot to tell me that. And then when I moved in, they just moved back from Malaga and they were like, oh, the cats are coming soon. I was like, oh, that's cute. How many are there?
10.
He said 10. And I was like,
What?
what? So anyway, joined the LGBTQ society. It was
Good.
basically just a fucking sesh. Like, it was, let's meet up in Gay Town. We'll just go bar hopping. And so many lesbians. I've never had so many lesbian friends. And
love that.
I mean, I said earlier, they don't want to be going out all the time because they've got football practice.
Yeah.
That is true. But back then, they were out.
Yeah. They were going out. They were not ordering the U-Hauls back then. They put down the power tools and picked up the mimosa.
But Birmingham, right? Let's go through a journey because we both end up in London, right? There's a whole bunch we can say there. Birmingham. I find that Birmingham is the particular kind of gay bar. I think Brummies in general just want to have an argument. Like, I had so many arguments just being in the bar. I asked someone for a lighter. They didn't have one. And I was like, okay, because they gave me a dirty look. And then I just remember this yammy of a bloke, like, get up, get up, get up. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going home.
Yeah.
But that's just Birmingham in general.
It's an Aggie city.
They like to have an argument.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like Manchester's an Aggie city.
just Manx in general. They're just antagonistic.
We picked our side.
Yeah. I'm down with the Scouts.
I'm honorary Scouts.
Yeah. I've been to a few gay bars in Liverpool and they're fun. But the Scouts are fun.
I've never been to a gay bar in... Dan, if you're listening to this episode, I want to go to a gay bar in Liverpool.
Well, the Scouts are just fun.
Yeah.
Like, you're right, babe. Yeah, I am. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. It's just happy.
Do you want a shot? Yeah, go on then.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Oh, but no, so there was no gay bars for me until I really got to London.
Yeah.
And even then, there weren't that many gay bars for me.
No, okay.
I know. I didn't make the most of living in London. And I think that's something both me and Dan regret, is not making the most of our time in London. I feel like for, at least I can speak for myself, is I feel like I've become more my authentic gay self here in Stockholm.
That's because you're just surrounded by queens.
Every single day. And it's great.
That was not my story.
No. So
like I went to like my favorite gay bars, right? So I used to work in Soho.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna top of the fucking list for me. And like we would finish the day and me, my dolls, Susan Soph, and Mark as well, would just go to the King's Arms, and it's just off Oxford Circus Street, right? Oxford Street or whatever it is. It's just off it. It's right by the Flannels actually, which is a bit of a chavvy shop.
Yeah.
And it's a beer club. I mean, no, not beer club, a beer bar.
Yeah.
And on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, they had half-price pints.
Nice.
So it was £2.75 for a pint.
Brilliant.
And then sometimes we'll just have one or two just to kind of beat them, so we don't have to do the rush hour. Sometimes we'll be there until closing. And it's nothing like, it's like kind of hole in the wall bar. And it's not like mind blowing, but it's just like, I remember one day Sophie said to me, she was like, this is the safest bar. Like, these are my friends, but they're also the bouncers. And like these big old bears will like go to bat for her. She used to go to the toilet and like upstairs because she's the only woman in the bar. She never shut the door. She said, sometimes I just sit there, I have a little go on my vape, and I don't even lock the door.
I love it. I love it.
So, top of the list, King's Arms. Like, they're struggling, they've been struggling. Go see, they do drag queen DJ night. They also do pub quizzes.
Nice.
So then we walk down the street. So, have you heard of the Admiral Duncan?
Yeah, I know the Admiral Duncan.
That's the one that got hit with a nail bomb in the 80s.
Yeah.
And that one is like a hole in the wall bar as well. So this is going like further into Soho. One night we went there and they had a drag king performer who was so good, like singing, like just put on like a full on like hour-long set, right? This is just after work as well. Like just so good. Never found that like a drag king performer in any other place except for London.
Really?
Yeah. And then you keep going down. There's Compton Street.
Oh, yeah.
Compton's is a really good pub. Very, very cruisy.
Yes, very cruisy.
So there's been a few times where I've been at a loose end and I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like, Sophie's gone to meet a bloke. I'm just going to go to Compton.
Do you know what? I wish I'd have known that because I used to work in Dean Street.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was off Old Compton Street.
Yeah.
And, I'm ashamed to say, like, my knowledge of Old Compton Street is purely just every single Pride, too many people, and then going to Herman's the German and getting, tofu wurst.
No. Pride in Soho is not a good idea. It's never been a good idea.
No.
So
However,
there is the one on the corner that's just 2 for 1 on cocktails.
I do have a gay story from London that I've just remembered. So one Pride, we went to Black Pride in Vauxhall. And and it was freaking amazing. We had the best time. The food was incredible. The vibes were great. I went with Terence Higgins Trust, the HIV charity. A friend of mine who I worked with, Luke, was a member of THT. And it was great. You know, met everyone, nicest group. We'd marched with THT the day before in Pride. And yeah, it was such a fun day. The music was great. My friend Richie came. And yeah.
I've never been to Vauxhall.
You've never been to Vauxhall?
No, I've heard some...
You've never been to the Vauxhall Tavern?
No, and apparently Lily Savage back in the day used to do drag sports day.
Yeah. I made
which
out...
sounds fantastic. Like, it was like egg and spoon race in heels. What was it? The jumping... We had to jump in a sack.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What's that called? In a wig.
It's not happy sack or anything like that.
No,
it's like,
just jumping sack. I don't know.
Jumping sack.
But it's like sports day thing that you do in the UK schools. But to do it in drag is hilarious.
I love that.
Again, but I've never been.
I met up with 5 50-year-olds or like 50-plus-year-olds.
I mean, I've had my fair make-out sessions with men that are...
Double your age.
Yeah, maybe, like back then, maybe even triple.
Yeah, I did have a friend who was like hooking up with an 80-year-old, and I was just like,
depends. Some 8-year-olds are fit, man.
Yeah, this was, but he actually hooked up with my American friend who came for Pride. That was quite fun. That was hilarious.
Which one?
Which friend?
Did I meet him?
No, you didn't. No, you haven't met him. But it's the same friend that we went to Sweatbox with.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the whole Sweatbox story.
Oh, yeah.
But we won't go into that this episode.
Yeah, we're going to go into like, I don't know, we could talk about dark rooms and cruise rooms and stuff like that.
I mean, that's going to come up later, I think.
So, I've never been to Vauxhall.
Okay.
I know this gay bar down there called Fire, which is pretty intense. Mm-hmm. There's a series based in Vauxhall. It's like one of those kind of like queer trauma series that I'm like a bit bored of now, to be honest. Yeah,
I'm tired of the Greek tragedies. And it's a lot of Greek tragedies in gay cinema.
Unless it's a sin, then I don't want to watch a new one.
That was so important. That was so good. That was wild.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Well, I always lived in East London, right?
Yeah. So you know the East London clubs.
So, Dalston Superstore's overrated as fuck.
Okay.
My favourite gay pub, they open up downstairs after The Glory, and it's queer as fuck. Like everyone, like so many drag queens, so many cross dressers. Gender is like who?
Yeah.
And it's just right on the bottom of I think it's called Dalston High Street. I can't remember now, but it's right on the bottom. And it's just by the river. So I used to just jump on the bike, go down, have a few beers, and like hanging out with some friends. But it's so pubby. But they have like a main stage. They have like a little stage with like tinsel all over it, and they just like some quick little numbers. I
think I've seen stuff about that.
Yeah,
that
The Glory,
so
man.
Cool.
The Glory. That was I don't know if it's still open, but that was sick. And then I think Bimini used to work there, And
I think she did too. I feel like I've seen clips of Bimini back in there.
And then when I lived in Hackney Central, if you keep walking down, I think it's Bethnal Green Station. There's Queen Adelaide again, pub, but gay.
Yeah,
gay pub. I think the owners, I think they run the Westminster Fashion Course. I think that's what someone told me. I don't know, but they were my two favourites. I think Dalston Superstore's like, it's like a hole in the wall, but it's just so overrated. You can't move.
Yeah.
I took Rico there one time when he was visiting, and he was fuming because everyone was wearing sunglasses. I mean, he was like, why is everyone wearing sunglasses? They all look like idiots. And then we looked at a flyer, and it's like a sunglasses night, because apparently that's a theme.
I love how we were just sitting there, and he was just like there going, like, it's the sunglasses.
Yeah.
It is not okay. Were there at least drink deals on if you had sunglasses? Like 2 for 1?
fuck knows. But that night, Rico, I remember when I first moved back, because when I first moved back from Stockholm to London, and then everyone just found Rico fascinating because he's this like German bloke.
He doesn't sound like I say he sounds.
They were way more interested in him than me, and I was like, everyone thinks you're fascinating. I'm fuming. This was so long ago. He is fascinating.
He's fascinating. One of the favourite things you showed me about Rico was when you guys did his makeup, and you were all so proud. And then literally, it was just him just going like, "I can't see. It's in my eyes.
It's in my eye. I can't see." I was proud. I knew it was a mess.
You abused this bitch.
That was when it must have been like 7 years ago now. Yeah, we did. Speaking of, right?
Yeah.
So now we can get to Stockholm. So this is when I was in London. I actually moved to Stockholm before. We spoke about it before. Back then, there was like loads of gay bars. There was King Kong, and I hooked up with one of the managers of that.
Yeah.
He was so fit. King Kong was like a bit of a beer night as well. It was definitely the more muscly guys. That's why it was called King Kong. I used to go down there as a slamming twink and have a wonderful time. Candy, which is free before 11. So like me, Rico, and my housemate at the time, Matthias. I think he's still in Stockholm. Shout out Matthias.
Shout out Matthias.
We would go down super fucking early. We'd pre-drinks. We're both like, we're all skinned, fresh from uni. We get in at 11, empty.
Love it.
And we just like potter around a bit until it got busy. And I have like you think Rico has, if you think Rico's accent is thick, Matthias's accent is so thick.
So German, I imagine.
So German. He's from Stuttgart.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah. And their accent's really strong. And I remember just really feeling his oats. I just love to go dancing. Me and Rico say Ginger all the time.
I love this. I love this. Oh.
So Candy, there was one gay bar on Kungsgatan. That's long gone.
Yeah.
What are the other ones? Secret Garden, that's been there forever, but that's awful.
Yeah. But I feel like I think this is a great place to stop this episode, and everyone can come back for the next episode when we talk about the current state of Stockholm.
Okay, let's do that then.
Let's do that. You've been listening to It's a Voice Note, not a podcast. Please reach out to us on socials on It's a Voice Note, not a podcast. That's on TikTok and on Instagram. And also, please reach out to us for a new email address, which is hello@voicenote.gay. Take it away, Callum.
Cheers to the quiz. May we be here for many years. We design your clothes, we cut your hair, and all we ask for in return is you compliment our derrieres.
So please compliment our derrieres.